of tourism expert. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Well, Dr. Atif, a number of cooperation and memorandum of understandings has took place between Egypt and other countries, and especially in light of the meeting between the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, Minister Ahmed Isa, with the Hungarian ambassador to Cairo, and also with the Burundian ambassador to Cairo. Let's start with the cooperation between Egypt and Hungary first, in the field of tourism, of course.
Well, Minister Ahmed Isa, the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, he met His Excellency, the Ambassador of Hungary, so they can boost the cooperation between the two countries in the field of tourism and antiquities, as you just mentioned. And there were lots of points that were discussed during this meeting, and it's considered to be one of the very important cooperation meetings between Egypt and Hungary, as this will help in the cooperation between Egypt and Hungary in the field of tourism and antiquities, in the field of training the Egyptian, archaeologists in the field of museums and restoration and so on and so forth. Also, they discussed returning back the artifacts that has been taken from Egypt. As you know, ma'am, that Egypt is working hard and going the extra mile to return back the antiquities that has been taken from Egypt recently, which is a big role for the antiquities department, for the Egyptian antiquities department. So that's one of the main points that has been also discussed during this meeting. They also talked about having an exhibition for the Hungarian archaeologist Max Hertz, who lived in Egypt between the 19th and the 20th century, and also shedding the light on his role in the field of archaeology. And that will be also a step in increasing and boosting the cooperation between Egypt and Hungary.
Yes, Dr. Atif, also there are a number of cooperation between Egypt and Hungary. How could you describe the flow of tourists from Hungary to Egypt nowadays?
Well,
what is the percentage, I mean?
Well, Egypt is considered to be one of the big destinations for the Hungarian travelers that come to Egypt. You know that the population of Hungary is around 10 million people who live in Hungary, and this population makes Hungary the country number 83 population-wise worldwide. Well, the percentage is almost, I would say, 6 to 7% of the travelers who come to Egypt, or can go up to 10% of the travelers who come to Egypt. And Egypt is working on increasing this number, as Egypt now is considered to be one of the main destinations for the Hungarian travelers, as a matter of fact. So yes. Egypt also is trying to open new markets, and Egypt always promote tourism in Egypt as, people come to see new Egypt now. Yes. So we always say that Egypt is not the travelers' parents' Egypt, or the travelers' mothers and fathers' Egypt, but it's new Egypt now that the travelers want to come and see. And also the archaeological exhibitions that are working in Egypt increased the promotion of Egypt as a tourist destination for Hungary.
Yes, Dr. Atif, also the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Minister Ahmed Isa, met with the Burundian ambassador to Cairo. And they discussed the fields of tourism and the training courses in the field of restoration and renovation work. So give us an idea about this, please.
Sure. Minister Ahmed Isa, the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities in Egypt, met with Sheikh Melashi Rashid, the ambassador of Burundi to Egypt, and the delegation that accompanied him in this meeting to ensure the deep and strong relations between Egypt and Burundi. Now, during this meeting, they discussed the agreement paper between the two countries to benefit from the Egyptian experience in the field of tourism, to develop some of the sites in Burundi, which is very important. And also the meeting discussed how to promote the tourism product in Burundi, and also the Burundian ambassador invited the Egyptian minister to visit Burundi. Well, this reflects the deep relations and cooperation between the two African countries, and reflects also the role of Egypt that Egypt is playing in Africa, and the important role which is reflected by these training courses that Egypt will provide for the sites and for the archaeologists in Burundi.
Yes. Dr. Atif, there are three excavation work Hungarian archaeological missions that are operating here in Egypt. How do you assess the future of the joint cooperation in the fields of excavation work and museums between Egypt and Hungary in light of the three archaeological missions operating in Egypt?
Yes. Well, first of all, we should mention that there are like 238 archaeological missions that are foreign archaeological missions that are working in Egypt, and this reflects the good relation between Egypt and the different countries from all over the world. There is no doubt about that. And we have missions from, as I told you, 238. Among them is the three missions that are archaeological missions that are working, or archaeological expeditions that are working here in Egypt in the antiquities field. This reflects the cooperation between Egypt and Hungary, and this will also be effective in lots of methods. Training the Egyptian archaeologists or in the field of digging and excavations, and also in the field of restoration, and in the field of musealization, because Hungary has a good experience in the field of archaeological digs and also in the field of musealization. So that will boost the cooperation between both countries, and I think that will have good effect on Egypt on both the practical side and also the archaeological side.
Yes, Dr. Atif, I would take this opportunity as you are speaking to us, and I would like to talk to you about the latest discoveries that took place here in Egypt in the Saqqara district that was only announced 2 days ago by Egypt. As Egypt have announced the discovery of a number of tombs and two largest mummification workshops, and also a number of artifacts in Saqqara. So I would like that you shed light on this important discovery in Saqqara, which add to the series of discoveries that took place years ago, or since 5 years. We hear every now and then
Yes.
several discoveries. We'd like to shed the light now, Dr. Atif, on the discovery of two largest mummification workshops, two tombs, and a number of artifacts in Saqqara.
Well, Saqqara is not stopping to impress us and impress the whole world. As you just mentioned kindly, that they have been discovering tombs in Saqqara. Remember the Bobastion necropolis that has been discovered. And of course, if we talk about the Bobastion first, the Bobastion has been discovered with totally Egyptian hands, with Egyptian archaeologists. And Dr. Mustafa Waziri, of course, played a big role in all the excavations and all the archaeological digs. Dr. Mustafa Waziri, the head of the Antiquities Department of Egypt, played a big role in this archaeological digs as an archaeologist and as an expert in archaeological digs. Well, if we talk about Saqqara as well, we should mention that people know about Saqqara. I mean, travelers know about Saqqara before even coming here. As for the new excavation that happened in Saqqara, when we mention the mummification labs, this will be important because this will give us new ideas about mummification in Egypt. The secret of mummification
Yes.
had impressed the world for the last decades, ever since people started to hear about Egyptology and to hear about the ancient Egyptian mummies and what have you. So to discover two mummification labs, to discover places where they did the mummification, we used to say that all what we need is one of those notebooks that the mummifiers, if I would call, or if I can call, had written some of their notes in to try to decipher the secrets of mummification. And if I can say that as the Rosetta Stone was able to decipher the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, so those two labs that has been the mummification labs that has been discovered in Saqqara for sure will decipher more of the secrets of mummification for the ancient Egyptians. And I think that will make Egypt more inviting as a tourist destination. People like to come to see New Egypt, as I told you before. People come to see New Egypt today, and they like what we would call the Instagrammic tours. So they want to go see new sites, they want to see new things and new discoveries, and that's what we would call Instagrammic tours, if I can say. So that will attract lots of people and for sure will increase tourism. Also announcing the tombs that has been discovered in Saqqara, and also announcing the artifacts that has been discovered in Saqqara keeps Egypt in the news. So that's kind of advertisement for sure for Egypt. People watch and know, and you'll be surprised, ma'am, that people come here and know the things that has been discovered. They know all the discoveries, and they read about it, and they are interested to see it, especially that we have the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, that will be opened in November. So I'm sure the artifacts that has been discovered will also be accommodated, or some of it will be accommodated in the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, that the travelers all over the world cannot wait to come and visit its inauguration.
Yes, also Dr. Atif, the discovery of in Saqqara also included the discovery of animals in the tombs. The two tombs that were found, they found also mummified animals. So what would you say about this also?
Well, the ancient Egyptian cult and the ancient Egyptian religion, if I can say, depend upon animism. So they worship the power in the animal at that time, not the animal itself. So discovering those mummified animals will also open a new method of studies, and will also, because people are interested to know more about Egypt, and Egypt is revealing its secrets day in and day out. So we have in the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities in the Tahrir Square the room of the mummified animals and birds in the second floor of the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities in the Tahrir Square.
Yes.
Now this discovery will add and will be an added value to all the mummified animals and birds that we have been seeing all over the sites. So I think that will be the cherry that will be put on top of the cake.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Also, I thank you for your valuable information and for explaining to us. I thank you, Dr. Amr Atif, tourism expert. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.